Hello, this is Ross from the Strawman One, and I felt like in this time of day I want to talk about something that has really got onto me, but not like very dramatic, but just more like understanding more about life and how much something so small can result in me of just losing a few years of your life because of something that you really couldn't figure out yourself, because you didn't know if it was the environment's fault or was it your fault entirely. So I'm currently in public right now. Yes, I'm here. So there is a pride parade that's happening right now. You might hear music. The problem was, from 2 years until now, they used to be free, so you didn't have to pay tickets. But when I heard about the Pride Parade, I came, and it's VIP access, and I don't have any tickets for it. And apparently they've stopped the tickets and everything, so I can't get myself in. So yeah, it's kind of weird to do a Pride Parade in the late of July instead of June. So I was like, great, I travelled all this way on a public bus just to be told that I have no access. Great, but what can I do now as it's a sunny day? So I decided to just walk around and felt like, you know what, let's just do a little live vlog in public. There's going to be people walking past and I'm making myself like an idiot. So I went to a school event yesterday, my old school. It was really great. I know I didn't really have the best, but I wouldn't say it's the worst school, because they do really well with paying attention to students and such. And I only went there just for nostalgic purposes and catching up with teachers and such, because it is a pretty nice change, and I didn't do that in like 5 years. So I felt it was really great to just kind of, express yourself more. And I was catching up with some pupils who, in my perspective, I thought they had no interest in me. They didn't like me because I was an outcast and such. But actually, they actually see me as alright, and they didn't have any issue with me, when it's just like your mind's been playing tricks with you this whole time. Like, you feel like this person doesn't give a damn about you, but that's only because if you don't talk much to each other, then you're pretty much going to be strangers. You're not really having like an actual conversation, and that's what happened with me. I always had, from the past like 12 years, I've always had problems with talking to people, and I would literally avoid social contact. I'm not sure it's part of my ASD, because there's people with ASD was able to talk to people. I think it's just my upbringing, because part of that was living alone in a big house in a industrial estate for about 20 years. We had no neighbours. The Wi-Fi was really terrible, so it's really hard to make contact with people. So technically I was in a house designed for people that really want to be away from society, and that's when I wanted to just step up and pick up. And I'm 24 now, which is really crazy, and whenever I do think about these events, I still feel like I'm a man-child, because mostly my faults come from when I was about 13, 14, and I'm 24, and it's quite crazy how many years has gone by and I'm still stuck in the past. So my issue of growing up, again, was likely because I wasn't in the right mindset. And then once you're not in the right mindset, you just get stuck in the past. You're like frozen in ice. And then 10 years has gone by. Everyone is either been engaged or married or anything, and I'm just still someone who stays in bed and just doesn't leave the house much. And I knew that I don't want to be seeing myself as I don't know, 30 years old and still having the same lifestyle as when I was a kid. Because I picked up, so when I know that I don't enjoy my life that much, the first things I try to get myself into, which try to experiment myself, like, do I seem to be really appealed with it or not? So I like going to the arcade and such, and I notice I'm not really having fun anymore, because if I keep winning prizes or anything, I just dump them because it's not something I really want. But also, the prizes now are just stuff from China, and you could buy this for about 50p, but you've put £7 in the machine to get this keyring right. You could have got about 14 of those. And then you got your favourite games you play. So there's like a few games I play on my PC, and some reason I'm not really having fun, because I know games are fun, so I am having fun in the game, but I'm not having fun of, like, it's like I don't see this as like something as a career. I know, like, I do Twitch, but my Twitch is very tiny right now, so I don't see it as a career at this time. But you know that it's all right to play games online, but it's just when you keep playing it too much every single day, you get lots of free time, but you're not, like, making money out of this and such. Like, there could have been better things you could be doing with your life other than sticking playing games, unless you're getting paid by playing games. So there is a reason to play games. So that's why I have a Twitch. So it doesn't, if I'm playing any games and such, I can just turn on my OBS, and even if it feels like no one's appealed to any of my content, there will be people out there that will. But I took 3 years off of college. So I left college in August 2021. I studied art and design, and then I studied English level 2. Unfortunately, for English level 2, I wasn't able to pass this course, complete this course on level 3, because guess what? The mark score to reach that criteria was 13. My score was 12. And by the way, around that time, this is when we had Zoom meetings and the pandemic. So mostly about all of our work has to be cancelled and scrapped and had to be replaced with something simple. But just because I say simple doesn't mean it's like really easy. It's just some unorganized, like, chaos in the education system. And then I completed art and design level 2, which I'm very thankful of. But then I decided to take a gap year, because I've been in education since 2011. So I started high school, and then I moved to college. That's 10 whole years. So I decided to take a gap year off. I wanted to focus on the problems, or anything that comes to mind. I need to try and fix it. And one of them was, well, at least try harder try to find out why am I getting anxiety. But also, as a coincidence, my house was on the market, because my stepdad's made a move to sell our house, which I thought was going to be a big move for me, because even though I've been there for 20 years, it's really hard just to leave. But this house wasn't really doing me any good. I lived in a house which is designed for people who want to avoid social contact. So I literally sold all of my stuff that I don't want. So I sold all the toys from the arcade and such, because I know that it's embarrassing for someone who's over 20 to carry, I don't know, load of Winnie the Poohs, let's say. So I sold some, but I kept some behind for memory purposes. And then I was focused on self-employment. So I did YouTube, so that was one of the reasons why I left college. It's not because of the Strawman one. I also had another channel, which is a lot more popular than the Strawman one. But that will be a discussion we will talk about another day. So I focused on, like, Shopify. I did a little bit of Redbubble. The income is not really that great. It's really low because of low traffic, but also if you're going on print and demand websites, you're not really going to get paid lots unless you're on Etsy, because that's just how it is. But I mostly focus on YouTube, and I know like leaving college and doing YouTube full time sounds exciting, or leaving school to do YouTube, it sounds exciting. It does, but when you do it for like more longer than after a year, you will start to notice that it is getting really boring. Like, it's like early retirement. It's just really boring, because all I've been doing is just using the computer and then just using the bed. I computer bed every single day. And well, that's one of the reasons why I cannot develop my life if I keep doing those, if I keep repeating those scenarios and these routines. Please do not take 1 year's okay, but don't take 2 or 3 years unless you really need those gap years, because I've made a mistake. I should have only had 1 gap year, but as I was too dependent with my self-employment and such, I could have done self-employment and focus on more further college courses, because when you're doing stuff online, it's not like your 9-to-5 job, because even if you don't turn up, you're still getting paid, right? Because they consider it as passive income. And it's a crazy world that we live in, like wasting myself away. My parents getting old, I'm getting old, and it's just quite, and yeah, like after when I've lost a few of my pets, well, all of my pets actually, they all got old and then passed away. It has taught me a lot of things, even like to just accept, this is life. Not everyone can be around forever. And if I keep doing the same stuff over and over again, like I've been doing since when I was a kid, I'm never going to reach my goals unless I actually push myself. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to be at college in September, and it will be the best thing ever, because I was at college for 3 years. I had social anxiety. I just couldn't talk to anyone. It was really hard. Like, you always had the fear of messing up or making stuff an embarrassment. But I can do that now. I can talk to people. So I am looking forward for September. Hopefully my life can really turn around and I would feel less lonely. So I don't have to battle with loneliness, isolation, and it's not good. Hopefully that will be over soon. I also want to include about one of the reasons why I suddenly just pushed myself into life from about 2 weeks ago. So I was on my Facebook, the Facebook I don't even use, but I'm able to still log in. I had a video playlist of some clips I published on Facebook in 2014, and this video was a clip of my cat, who I lost about 2 years ago, who was snoring, making loud snores while resting on my bed. And when I was just about to turn 14 at the time, I thought it was a good idea to video it on my iPad. And I never paid attention. I didn't even know I had this clip on my Facebook, but I now do remember. But then I have to really think further into the story behind this little clip. Is what was I doing at the scene? Why did I, in my free time, like what was I doing when I was laying on the bed with this cat? And then I realised, oh yes, I remember now. I didn't have a computer at the time. I had an iPad, and I would always be on my iPad about 4 hours a day. And so this gave me a bit of a summary that, yeah, I'm literally being stuck in the past. I'm like, from that clip, if you just think about the backstory of it, it's actually the things that I've actually just did when I was a kid, but I'm still doing it now. And that's a big slap in the face to me when I picked up that discovery. Look how peaceful this is. Other than the people occasionally walking by. And you had some teenagers shout on the bike just earlier, so that's why I'm moving over here. Wasn't shouting at me, but he just had a big mouth. I ramble too much, but I know this isn't scripted. This is a very chaotic video because I'm literally just talking over the place, and I think that's the point of this, you know, recording on this phone that will be published on YouTube. Another thing I discovered online, because as I already said before, I've never been in a romantic relationship before, despite that I have a load of socials available, such as like Tinder and even the new Facebook one. Well, there's other ones as well, but I don't think anyone uses them. Known as Bumble as well. Sometimes when you're like really alone, you feel like you're ugly, but then I found this interesting comment on Facebook one day from a random post that said, well, if 99% of the world think you are ugly or unattractive, then that would mean 75 million people would see you as attractive. So I would definitely use that voice for anyone who feels like they're ugly or don't have that much self-esteem, and that's very creative. I still pick up that message. It's like, wow, that's very creative. I did say in the other video, imagine being alone and there's like 8 billion people around the world and none of them wants to be your friends. It's kind of like that scenario. From the past about 2 or 3 months since my cat died, since Felix died, I've been trying to make myself a bit more advanced into the environments. It's not a proper wording to say it. It's actually me just trying to be more outgoing. And I am an outgoing person. I've just always kept my mouth shut because I know I occasionally say hi to people, you know, that walk past me and such, but and it's such a bummer that the Pride Parade is just over there and I can't get into it because I don't have tickets, because originally from the past 2 or 3 years, for every year we had this Pride Parade, they would always let everyone go free. Now you have to pay tickets. Great, I literally came all this way just to be told that I can't have access. Fantastic. And that's why I want to make this video, because I'm bored. I don't want to travel back home. I want to sit just near the pond here. But if you're battling through loneliness, there is helplines available. I've came across the helplines as well. They've been really supportive. I have got in contact with a therapist. It's like an on and off situation where I sometimes don't need the therapist and sometimes I do, but I'm currently fine at the moment. I did call a helpline for pet loss, and they were helpful. They were very helpful. I do grieve sometimes about all my pets I lost, and that is normal. But it's not a nice feeling where, you had this cat for about nearly 15 years, always jumps on your bed every morning and every night for 15 years, and now I can't experience that anymore. I have a cold bed, just sleeping by myself, because I was expecting by the time I have a lover, I probably don't need to worry much about my cat, because I can, you know, and if I do have a partner, I would like to show them my pets, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So now I'm someone who doesn't have any pets, and I know people be like, oh, don't worry, you can get another cat, or maybe you can try have a dog, but it's not the same. It really isn't the same to you know, your cat just die, get a new one. No, that's not going to happen. I am not replacing a pet. And and even if I did fancy one, I feel like I'm more worried about 15 years later than focusing on, because yeah, life is too short, and if I ever got a pet right now, I think I would be morely focused on the lifespan rather than enjoying my time with them. And I shouldn't really think about that way, because you know, you should always enjoy your time and such. But for me, personally for me, of time going fast really so quick, I just see it a lot differently. And I would like to adopt some animals from the shelter and such. I don't want to adopt animals from like actual families. I'd rather adopt stray ones. In fact, Felix was a stray as well, so she was amazing. So as I'm going back to college, I'm definitely going to push myself into like exams and such, because everything I did before, anxiety just comes to mind first, and then the main aspect comes second. But that changes in September, because my goal is to complete my courses and also create some relationships and engagements, because that's always been something I've been lacking. And this will be amazing one day, but next year I'm turning 25, and I am hoping a birthday party is going to exist. I know there is a pub that I really like in this town. It's actually gaming themed, so if you're someone like me who's like Twitch, you will probably might like this, or you like things like old school, like 1990s games and such, like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, you might actually like this. It's really interesting. So you could actually reserve it and then invite some people over, and you're like the leader of that bar. So that would be great. I already imagine having my invites, but it will be great. It will be fantastic. So yes, I think that's it. I actually need to get going. I'm currently just walking around, holding back, but I'll catch you all later. And if you have any questions or anything you want to share, just let me know. And peace out.